is just like from filming to filming, people, and downloads coming in. Oh my Lord, the downloads, my spirit. So much energy is going on right now. I feel alive. I feel radiant. I hope that you do too. There's definitely, like, it's a lot. There's a lot happening, and I've just had to allow myself moments of brief bursts of like weeping if need be, you know, slide down the wall moment for a second, and then it just passes. It's so dramatic. I'll just be walking along and suddenly it'll be like, and then I'll just go on. It's like an English drama. But that's great. That's exactly what's supposed to be going on right now. I'm getting this image of the universe being like a washing machine, and we're just like in this like really rough washing cycle to prepare us, prepare our costumes for season 3 and wash away all the grit and the toxicity and the influence from the past. Oy vey. Oy nevashay. I can't remember the Hebrew word for the positive side of the oy, but I'm just trying to be a good half Jewish person over here. Oh my God, you guys. Happy full moon in Cancer. Happy full moon in Cancer. We're here. We're doing it. I feel like I'm starting to be a new person, but I'm having like these moments of like revelations coming up this week, or I'm having memories of my old self. And I think that you're going through this too. But it's like as if like all the work that we've been doing, it has really been rooting in. And so now it's like the final phase of the work that we set out to do last year, which I'm going to remind you that last January we started the year with a new moon in Capricorn, opposite Cancer. And so we started the year last year with the cosmic parents, and then the 2022 predictions followed suit, that the parent healing themes were alternating and coming up throughout the year. So it's like the winter is the last cycle of the work that we set out to do. I mean, this is the end of a huge, like, our life up until now kind of cycle, but still the cycle within the cycle. We are kind of wrapping up a year of 2022. It was like a year of death, a year of dying and clearing the ground, disillusionment and clearing the ground. So it's like right now we're sort of going through the death of the death. It is the final death of the death season. Think of this scene in the slasher flick when like Jamie Lee Curtis, or like in Friday the 13th, when they've like been stabbing the bad guy and he keeps coming up like for one last like, we're still fighting. I thought you were dead. And then like, you know, you think he's dead and he comes up again and he's, oh my God, we're still fighting. And then that last time where you're like, and they always want to go poke. They always want to go poke the dead guy. the threat. Let's go poke the threat. Is he still alive? Oh my God, I thought we were done with this. We're going to have to go through this all again. Oh wait, no, he really is dead this time. We're in the, oh no, he's really dead this time. Okay, cool. So we have been in the midst of being startled by the final rise of Jason or Michael Voorhees or whoever. And this motion is a knife stabbing towards you, by the way. That could be misinterpreted. Yes, always me. But anywho, the final death of the death of the death is happening. So that's my t-shirt today. It's like moon, death phase, loving it, celebrating the death. I feel fortune coming, and that's where the coins are coming from. I feel we're also in Capricorn sun season. So I feel that we are being influenced by that Capricorn methodology and discipline and structure and, you know, good like boundaries and discipline and like motivation, but there's just like still some things in retrograde right now. Like Mars is in retrograde, Mercury is in retrograde. So even though like we're sort of like getting a vision really clear and we're getting our plan together and like we know it needs to be done and we're like really wanting to take action, it's like everything feels like so much like more laborious and like slow than it should, or it feels like it should. But that's okay, because we're really supposed to be more in the internal process right now to finish out fully the cycle of 2022 and before. So this is going to look like epiphany, revelation, breakthrough, healing within your perceptions. So what we were started to talk about a minute ago, it's like you might have these memories come up from the past, maybe from early childhood, maybe from your adolescence, maybe just from recent years and experiences, right? And you're gonna have these memories come up. But because we've done enough work, or we've been working on that all year, it's like now we have the ability and the emotional sobriety and the kind of distance from it to step outside of ourselves, so we're not feeling that it's happening to us. We're outside of being victimized in the situation. So we can take some distance from it and almost see ourselves and witness ourselves from the perspective of like that past self not even being us. It's like they're a whole different person. And so all of a sudden we're witnessing this from the outside looking in, going, oh my God, you poor thing. Like obviously that would have impacted you in the way that it did, but that was never what you should have interpreted from this. And this is maybe a better way to figure out, like they're dealing with their own shit, or the situation was always set up to like kind of challenge you in this way, so it didn't mean that you were wrong. You know, you're having these different, like you have enough distance from it to give yourself like the compassion and the perspective and the love and encouragement that you couldn't give your own self, because our own selves are so like, we're like running through life like the Walking Dead people just trying to survive the zombie invasion. It's like, they got grandma, like just keep going. Like we just have to like pull ourselves up from our bootstraps, keep calm and carry on all the time. That's what our ego tells us, right? So it's like not safe to let our guard down, right? We've got to be tough. We've got to continue on, or else we'll die. We'll just get eaten up by life and run over and left behind for the zombies to just, you know, feast upon, right? And then us too become a zombie. So our ego, our defense mechanisms have, you know, created these boundaries around ourselves where it's like it's hard to open up and be vulnerable even with ourselves, to sit with the feeling of being like, oh, man, this is how I feel about that. And it's like we're so afraid of feeling that feeling fully that we avoid it, and it stays and it lingers. And so we're living in that feeling because we're avoiding it, rather than death eating, right? We need to feel that feeling in order to digest that feeling. We need to accept ourselves in that moment and just allow ourselves to be loved by ourselves just enough to let your guard down and be like, oh, man, that hurt, didn't it? You know, when you see someone else going through pain and you're hit for them, you're like, oh God. Oh, and it's real and it's genuine and it's almost instinctual, but it's like we block ourselves off from feeling that instinctual compassion, right? It's a defense mechanism. So we're learning how to let that down by learning to trust that there is a divine consciousness, a source of all that is, our creator, that is the very beingness of love, and there are good things set up for us, right? But there are just, we're in this avatar that's set up with contrast, and it's not all sunshine and roses. You know, we're not in that Garden of Eden anymore because we're separated from that oneness in our consciousness now. So we've been awakened to pain and the preoccupation between pleasure and pain and our hopes and fears, you know? And so we are kind of sitting with these things as they're coming up. I mean, that was so much that I just got lost in talking about that. But we're sitting with these things as they come up, and we're re-witnessing them. Oh yeah, from a more distant like perspective. loving ourselves as we would someone else. And it struck me like to love your neighbor as yourself, right? Sometimes it's easier to love our neighbor than ourselves, right? But it's a symbiotic, like, you're either in the vibration of love or not. And so by being in the vibration of love, by being love, you will then in turn be in vibration with love with your neighbor and feel compassion for them and strong boundary. Same with yourself. You can have boundaries and rules with yourself and discipline, and also mercy and compassion and love. It's all about a balance, right? In mysticism and spirituality, in soul correction, what we're trying to do is find a balance as we dance through life, right? It's never going to be perfection. It's never going to be a one and done, all in one. It's just a way that we approach life. Dance is beautiful and it's very satisfying, but it's not without pain. It's not without discomfort. It's not without discipline. It's not without focus. It's not without intention. It's not without practice, right? And it's not like you finish ballet. You have to keep your technique. You have to keep working those joints and those muscles to stay flexible, to keep that body training, that body intelligence. Same with everything else, you know, this is all just metaphors and layers and mirrors, you know, and it's taken quantum physics, however many, we're so proud of like quantum physics and quantum mechanics, and it's like, okay, yeah, but like on a spiritual level, on an energetic level, on the heart level, on the soul level, we've been already been talking about this for like tens of thousands of years or more. It's just that now we finally caught up to where we can have a language to talk about the crystallization of that truth at a material form at its root level, right? So all that to say, basically the universe is like, all right, we're finishing up, cleaning up all that old shit. Since we can step outside of ourselves and learn to love ourselves like we would anyone else, and learn to love other people like we would want to be loved, we're starting to free ourselves and liberate ourselves at the same time from the projections that were put on us by our family and parents and like our community and the zeitgeist around us in our early childhood. And basically freeing us, like the whole galaxy and solar system and universe and everything right now is just pushing us to step out of that shadow of the projections of the past. And they were probably placed on you in your family dynamic. Cancer is related to the family dynamic and your understanding of the essence of home and those close-knit partnerships and love relationships that affect you and affect your emotional world, that affect your heart. So these are your close-knit community, village, family, tribe, best friends, soul family, soul mates, lovers, the people that really are close to your heart. Your sense of what family is, what it is to have home, what is your home to you? How do you express that? You know, what is your idea of domestic bliss? What does that look like to you personally? Get out of the shadow of how you were raised to believe it should be, and free yourself and liberate yourself and claim your own authentic self. You need to be liberated from the pattern of doing anything because it was influenced by something that happened to you in your past for good or for bad, right? You might feel a guilt or an obligation to live up to someone else's expectations because of what they gave to you or what they did to you or did for you, right? You may have gotten a settlement or an inheritance that came as a result of something tragic and you feel like all of this guilt around it. It's like you don't need to like give up what you received. You need to give up the strings that are attached. You need to break those for yourself. And it's only up to you to do that mentally. You have to break those cords, right? And so you need to be able to cut all of these cords and move forward and liberate yourself so that you can follow your own divine guidance, so that you can live truly and create truly with divine, with your free will, to be creating a life that's true to you, that lights you up, that nurtures you, that nurtures your soul. Because then you're going to be in alignment with it, and it's going to be sustainable, right? And then you're going to attract what's true to you, and then your life is going to start reflecting that. What you're doing on the inside is already starting to take effect. We're in the final phase of circling back around at this, just so we can do that like Louisiana jazz funeral march around the old us, the old stories, the old patterns, the old storylines, the old canon of the series of our life, this that has come up until now doesn't apply anymore. We can jump timelines. We can start fresh. We can start writing every episode in the day. Who am I becoming? Who is this character that I'm developing into? Who are the characters that are coming and going out of my, show this season? But I'm going to be consciously participating in this with divine, with my instincts, with all the wisdom that I've brought with me till now, up until now. And I'm going to follow my intuition. But in order to do that, you've got to be liberated from the projections of other people. And if you're going to pair up with somebody, then and if you're going to have a serious commitment with another person, they have to be liberated from the expectations of other people, because you have to be able to stand up to them in your relationship, or be willing to walk away if it means not abandoning yourself. But they also need to be free of the influences of others to allow you to be yourself, right? Or else it's the deal breaker. And so you have to be able to allow each other, and it's like that's why you want to be authentic, because you want to match resonances with someone, so you're not clashing titans, right? Forcing something that doesn't work. So the Cancer full moon, basically the whole universe right now, like I'm channeling the universe. The universe is like, just be yourself. Stop worrying so much about what other people think. Like, your parents, they don't have to live your life. Like, nobody's gonna have to live your life. Like, nobody really cares about you. They're always wrapped up in their own world, obsessed with themselves. It only matters around the holidays. Like, nobody cares. Do your thing. Be yourself. If people are obsessing over you, they don't have a life, and they have their own work to do, and you feel compassion for them because they're still lost in the fog, right? And that's painful. We've all been there. So be you. Be yourself. Do what you want, because it's like you've let yourself heal and recalibrate, and your compass is now recalibrated, and it's pointing you in your true north, and you're confident about following that true north, and you're excited to do it. And so we're stoking our passion. We're stoking our fire. The feeling that we have, that we're emanating at all times, is like our engine. It's our magnetism. It's what's drawing our lives in around us, what's compelling our lives. It's what's conjuring things to us. And so if we feel like shit, we're not going to be very magnetic. We're not going to be very magical. We're going to go stagnant. And so we need to feel good. So the Cancer full moon, Cancer's a water sign. It's a cardinal sign. It's great at starting things, but not so good at like continuing on and following through. I am a triple cardinal: Aries, Libra, Cancer. Aries sun, Libra rising, Cancer moon. So my challenge is I have to get over the hump of creation phases 2.5.3, like 2.5 and 3, which is you're putting in the effort, honeymoon is over, pushing past, still putting in full effort, and like all of a sudden it's like phase 3 looks like, even though you like took the big risks, you keep going, you keep putting in effort, it's like it's as if it's never gonna happen. And you really are starting to believe that it might never happen. But that is where you have to get, in order to get from phase 3 to phase 4, you have to resummon the grit and harness your chi and determination that you are so in love with this thing, that this purpose, this vision for life, this sense that your soul is like pushing in this direction. You're gonna do it come hell or high water, regardless if there's ever any like payoff in the end. It's just because it's it's in your nature, and you feel like it's in your God-given purpose to do it. That is when the manifestation comes through. When you stick with it, regardless of the outcome. You've surrendered the outcome. You're just doing it because you care, because you're passionate about it, because my golly, you won't be stopped, because you can't not do it. It's part of like what you love, right? You have love invested. And so we're clearing up the things that are taking up space in our hearts. or weighing us down, or putting out these like toxic vibes that are like creating challenges and blocks and chaos for us, so that we can clear the way for this real authentic life to blossom. And it's happening, and it's probably going to be really literally happening come spring. So right now we're in that winter. We're in the funeral jazz parade, celebrating all that's come, celebrating the death, surrendering to it, because any minute we're going to be rising from the ashes, and it's go, go, go again. So enjoy the void space, where this is where the fertility, the rest, the holy rest happens, right? Where we recalibrate and recenter. And we really get clear on that vision, because as we set forward and start going toward that vision, we will be challenged. And we will be challenged to abandon ourselves, and we will be challenged to give up our own authenticity, and we will be challenged to get distracted and tired and veer off path. Our attitude will get bad some days. We'll forget to be grateful. That's where we start getting out of alignment, and that's where the vessel starts cracking, and we start losing what we're manifesting, right? Or we start losing our momentum. So we have to solidify our mindset. We have to solidify who we are to ourselves. We have to solidify our plan and our deal breakers and our boundaries. When it comes to our execution of this material plan, it is good to be adaptable, but also discerning and wise, right? We need to have strength and balance in that as well. Otherwise, if we're too adaptable, then we're just overly compromising, codependent doormats, right? So, Cancer is empathic. It's a water sign. It's not solid. Where does it end? Where does the other begin? There has to be a vessel around it to give it boundary, right? And it's up to Cancer to put that little shell. I was craving seafood last night. I was like, oh my God, I'd give anything for like a crab and lobster boil. And I ended up getting lobster and crab ravioli when I went to the store. I have to have crab. But yeah, that crab shell, right, protects that softness, that sentimentality, that tendency to be so attached. We need to set good boundaries around ourselves. Emotional boundaries, boundaries in life. Cancer is so nurturing that they tend to nurture everyone else and everyone else's needs, because they're so empathic. They feel what everybody else is feeling, and sometimes they don't even realize that it's not their feelings at all, right? So we have to learn how to distinguish our feelings from what other people are feeling. We can't overly prioritize other people's needs, because we lose ourselves in the people around us. And then we don't know what our needs are or who we are. And we're like, who am I? What is going on? What am I? What is my purpose? I'm so dissatisfied. I'm so angry at everyone because I've abandoned myself, and I'm desperate to figure out what's going on. So I'm looking at the obvious causes, and it seems like it's everybody else, but really it starts here. No matter what the outside world looks like it's doing to you or at you, the place of power is to yank the responsibility for yourself. Meaning, think of life as dodgeball, right? You can dodge the challenges, but you'll still see them as threats that you're defensive against. Or you can yank those challenges out of the air and then peg that opponent in the face with that challenge, by making it yours and turning it into inspiration and motivation to overcome, right? To pursue something with persistence, determination, grit. Okay, when something happens that is like challenging you, it is not a sign that you need to give up or quit or that you're cursed. This is a natural part of the process, and the people that persevere through are the people that attain their goals. So look at the world around you and examine your close relationships. Examine your house, your home, your family, your environment, your feeling of home in all the categories of life. How do you feel at work? How do you feel in your relationships? How do you feel at home in your own body, in your own skin, in your own health? How do you feel in your actual home? What does home and family and happiness mean to you? What nurtures you? Get clear about, Danielle Laporte taught about this for years. Get clear on your core desired feelings. Because what we learn in other schools of thought is that it's the feelings that are magnetizing things to you. And so in order to be really happy with your life, you need to get clear on how do you want to feel, right? A lot of times, for instance, we imagine that we want this kind of like partner and this kind of job and this kind of career, but really when you like break it down and reverse engineer it, you're like, oh, the reality of that would not be enjoyable for me at all. Like, I don't want to work those hours. I don't want someone who's going to be that busy and always at the hospital. Like, people are like, I want a doctor. It's like, really? Do you? Like, they're always at the hospital. Like, they're always on call. Like, you know, I don't know. So think about your core desired feelings, and then you can actually look at your life and say like, oh, do these things match up? Is this really like in accordance with my values? Because if it's not, I need to make the changes and I need to take the responsibility, right? You don't have to burn bridges. You don't have to suddenly quit your job one day. Just start planning and shifting gradually, bit by bit. Get a bridge job, or, you know, start working on your passion project on the side when you're not at work. Bring a better attitude to work. You know, be more grateful. You know, have a different approach with people in your life. Show up as the new you with a new energy and a new attitude, and create from your energy, right? Consider that your energy that you're bringing is the seed level of what you're going to experience. Because this avatar is happening for you, and their avatar is happening for them. And we all have like agreed to like interact with each other in our avatars, but you're playing your own game, right? And they're playing theirs. So how you react counts for you or against you, and what they're doing doesn't count for you or against you, right? So you're the only one accountable for your side. You're only accountable for your side, right? So think about that. You may need to edit your life to set you up to be experiencing what you want to experience. That's part of these transformations. More than likely, you've already been in this process all year, and now you're just kind of celebrating graduation time. But if you haven't been, this is like last call to get off any of the trains you don't want to be on, like, because it's like you're going into a whole new thing, and it's going to get more uncomfortable if your life is not a reflection of who you truly are. So get in touch with your feelings, very important. What is the message behind our feelings? But don't get lost in the story. Meaning, don't get lost in, oh, the story of what's happening to me. Instead, get into the message of, what is this telling me? Where is this feeling springing up from in me, first of all? Why am I triggered about this? What is my shit? And how is that affecting the situation? What is my shadow and ego? How is that interplaying? But also, what do I need to learn from, like, what I need to take from that first? Change your perspective and your energy, and change from the inside. Then your environment might shift. But then if it doesn't shift, it's like you have to accept the things that you can't control and like change the things that you can and work around them. So if it means like, okay, if you like are irritated with all your coworkers, right? Is it something where you can try to start improving your relationships with them and try to look for things you can appreciate? Or is it so toxic that you need to start thinking about finding another job? Either way, like, stop putting the blame on them and waiting for everybody else to change, and instead you take ownership of your situation in your life. That goes for personal relationships, goes for communication that you need to have with the people in your life. Stop talking to everybody about it, and then just have the conversation with the person you need to have it with. Because the gossiping about it, in Kabbalah, we learn that's called evil tongue. It creates chaos. It puts negative energy into your karma, into your cocoon that you then have to work off through pain and suffering and chaos. So don't generate more negativity. Instead, pray about it, get right with you, and then pray for guidance and support in becoming the kind of person that can healthily communicate and nurture healthy relationships around you, and hold your boundaries, and have discipline with yourself, but also have work-life balance. You know, back to the cosmic parents of Capricorn and Cancer. Cancer's the mother, Capricorn's the father. So we've been doing this mother-father healing all year. Also, you know, with our physical mother and father, but with the archetypes and the powers of mother and father. But, you know, father energy can be a bit overbearing and disciplinary and kind of that workaholism, and mother can be like overly nurturing to other people and smothering and like self-neglecting and then like overly emotional, right? So we need to correct those things and bring them into balance so that we're strong. We're emotionally available, but we're not controlled by our emotions. We have reason and wisdom and logic and good judgment, but we can also like bypass that if our intuition is speaking loud and clear, you know? So it's about balancing it all together and integrating it all and starting to try to integrate this in the way that we live and move and have our being in the world. Is your life set up to nurture your core desired feelings? Release what is no longer serving you for your highest good. Cancer is sentimental, so like look to see, are you attached to something because of nostalgia? Is like an old version of you wanting something because that's, you just got attached to it because it was like an idea that you cling to, and then you're just like, it's just still like, you're just still clinging to it, but it's not really right for you anymore. Like I realized recently, like a lot of the things that I've been letting go of are because it's been something that like maybe 2010 version of me wanted and like had so much passion about it then that it's just echoed in my reality and my consciousness for this long. But it's like you can become aware of these things in your life and just clean them out. Cut the cords, clear the decks, because new life, people, new life, new opportunities, new chances. And if you're in a life with things that you're committed to for a lifelong journey, then it's about having a rebirth within those things and recommitting to them and beginning to bring a fresh new you and a fresh new approach to those things. Release what is no longer serving you for your highest good, behaviors, things that are draining you, toxic relationships, toxic habits, addictions, you know, poor choices. We're healing our judgment, right? And you know, we're following our guidance in a healthier way. And so because of that, the judgment in our life is beginning to dissipate. Let's see, empath, setting healthy boundaries with self and others. Cancer loves the comfort zone, so this is also about finding a balance between that workaholism in Capricorn and the lazy comfort zone of Cancer. You know, Cancer's soft and mushy and like wants to like, you know, hole up in a little shell, whereas, you know, Capricorn is like, let's go to the top of the mountain, you know, I'll race the ram to the top kind of thing. This Cancer moon is sextile Uranus. I didn't mean to say it like so like Uranus. Uranus is the rebel and the game changer. It could bring sudden shifts in the way you feel about things and in the way you approach the situations that need to be managed in order to cultivate the life that supports your core desired feelings. So it's about like just addressing these issues and like suddenly having like a different take on things and a different feeling, a different energy. Maybe some things just don't even like, they're not even an issue for you anymore. You don't even have to like keep picking up the scab because it's just like, it's not even a thing. You're just like, whatever, moving forward, moving on. Could bring sudden shifts in the way you feel about things or the way you approach situations that need to be managed in order to cultivate the life that supports your core desired feelings, especially in how you're relating and feeling about others. Cancer full moon is sitting opposite Capricorn. We've been talking about that. Cosmic mothers and father. The culmination of the mother and father healing themes that we set out and began at the January last year of 2022. We are also back to the whole like random family stuff coming up that's going to reveal maybe like your subconscious beliefs and where patterns are originating. Those things are also allowing you to break family curses, heal sins of the generation, heal like perspectives that have been passed down and passed down. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're responsible for awakening your family and making them all change like the way they're seeing things too. It's just about you putting a stop to that cycle for yourself in your own life and what the energy that you put out in the world. And you stop having that dynamic with them based on that. They might be still having the dynamic based on that, but you have to have your dynamic based on all of this new, healed, like broken from the chains of all of this. You have to set the example by being this new energy, and you're not preaching at, you are just being in the new energy, and your vibration is more powerful, and it will eventually start bringing people up just through the exposure, okay? Just through osmosis. So you don't have to feel like it's your job to evangelize people, okay? They'll learn, they'll feel the change. Healing subconscious patterns in place in early childhood, healing family dynamics of house and home, and our presumptions and assumptions around those because of what was projected on us from our early childhood. Let's see. Also Capricorn and Cancer can help us balance things like working smarter, not harder. Finding balance between workaholism and laziness, balance between spending and saving, lavishness and frugality. And have you really considering what you want to invest in so that you have long-term value coming to you in return? You know, it's going to reciprocate value in the long term. Protect your efforts and your growth and vibration by cleaning up and simplifying your house and kingdom. The world, home, world, relationships, self-care. Oh yeah, so in all those categories, like simplify and clean up things in your home, in your outer world, in your self-care. Keeping a clean attitude, right? Keeping an attitude of gratitude and a feeling of joy and like love with your life and some kind of sense of purpose and connection to why you're doing what you're doing, what it's all for. How do we feel? Oh, do we feel at home in our lives, right? As you go through these different categories, and we brushed on that, but like, do you feel at home with yourself? Do you feel at home in your life? If you aren't, open yourself up to new possibilities and new ideas and ways to tweak and change, right? It can be small adjustments. You don't have to like completely move away and forget you knew everybody, you know, you've ever known or anything. You can make small shifts. Sometimes it's just the way you're like thinking about things or the way you're perceiving or interpreting something. Let's see, connect daily with your self-care routine. Connect daily with your core desired feelings to check in to see, like, it's really powerful to write those out every day in a journal because life will reflect those core desired feelings. It'll bring you experiences that offer you those feelings. It's amazing. It's so magical. Because when you're in touch with your feelings, that is powerfully magical, right? And so if you can get clear on a feeling and then set an intention with that feeling, knowing that feeling is what you want really from that thing that you think you want to happen, that's even more magical, right? That's how magic works. You're getting clearer about how you feel and how you want to feel, and you're fostering those core desired feelings in your life. So reevaluate what is in direct conflict with those feelings, right? We're evaluating what's in conflict with those feelings. And then you need to compare those with your desires. Do you have conflicting desires anywhere, right? Do you have your own conflicting agendas inside of you that are causing you to be stuck in a stalemate in your energy, in your intention, in your attention, in your decisiveness, right? If you don't know what you're asking for, the universe doesn't know what to give you. Start from the inside out and start from the inside and work your way out. Start with mindset. Are you living authentically true to you? Are you in alignment? Meaning, is your mindset and your focus and your heart and your energy and your actions, are they all being like focused and on point with what you really want to call in and with what you want to sustain and perpetuate and experience? Your energy creates your reality. So you want to be in gratitude and in joy and in passion and in love with what's going on around you. So that's what you want to surround yourself with, so you have more of the same. Your feelings are magnetic, and when you're feeling great, you're feeling fulfilled, you're feeling expansive, you're feeling the light, you're in alignment with your truest authenticity, and you are magnetic to what is in alignment with that. When you feel like shit, you are not in alignment with your authenticity and you fall out of vibration with what is authentic to you. what is inauthentic alignment with you. So that means that your like manifestation is going to wobble. You're going to lose something, or it's going to like, you know, be on shaky ground. So take care to protect your energy and feelings and mindset and attitude. Stoke your gratitude, passion, joy, and play. Always approach everything with the ultimate goal to make your life more playful and more freeing for you. Some things that will help you set better boundaries for yourself, or be, you know, kind of like strengthen yourself as an empath, or protect yourself as an empath. Start getting more clear about the limits that you want to set for yourself, and like follow those, right? If you want more discipline, like, you know, follow through with the promises that you set out for yourself, or the things that you want to do. If you have goals that you've set, or if you have things that you have on a list that you want to do, don't leave empty vessels. They attract chaos. That's what that is. When you have like, when you say these things and you set out these intentions and goals and you say you're going to do all this stuff and you don't, it's leaving an empty vessel open, and it attracts chaotic energy. So have good set limits for yourself. Follow your own rules for yourself and make others do the same, or expect them to do the same. Keep your disciplines with self. Set healthy boundaries and standards with people, and keep them. And the key word here is healthy. And then examine, like you want to be strong, but you never want to be beyond, like, so stern that you can't compromise. You know, you don't want to be completely selfish and narcissistic, but you also can't be codependent and like need to people please, and like willing to like put your needs aside and completely lose yourself in others, right? Examine what's yours and what's not yours. Don't take on other people's emotions. You're not responsible for other people's emotional health, even though they would have you think differently. Examine if other people's opinions, desires, and expectations have unduly influenced you. Have other people's expectations and things that they want you to be and do, has that taken you off your path? Have you abandoned yourself to please others? Have you fallen out of alignment with your own authenticity? It's time to recalibrate, reprioritize your calling and your path, and align with yourself. Okay, so what are we at? 40 minutes? Not too bad, people. Hey. Okay, let's do a Celtic cross. I'm going to do what I did in the 2023 predictions video. I'm going to do a side-by-side Celtic cross with the tarot and the oracle, straightforward oracle, my own deck, side by side. All right, so what do we need to know in context of this situation right now? Who are we? Ooh, Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. Ooh. Okay, like these three came out together, and I like to read these in chunks as a story. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles came out with Two of Swords, with Queen of Wands. And so I feel like you've been conflicted between what's practical and what you're passionate about. And what you don't realize is that you can find a balance between being practical and passionate at the same time. You can have both. You just have to center and be decisive in yourself and reconcile these two, right? So it means that also that you might be thinking like, oh, do I have to choose between something that is more practical? And does that mean I have to give up my passion? But it doesn't. You can find ways to support yourself materially and have your passion side by side. It doesn't have to be either or. Eventually, they might be able to merge and come together, right? And maybe that's your goal. So you're trying to figure out a way to become materially successful at what you're truly passionate about. And I think that you are set up for success here because the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands are both like, they're like in touch with their feelings, the core desired feelings, they're in their feminine, but they're also very successful. The Queen of Wands has energy, charisma. She's hilarious. She can like task juggle like crazy. She has all this energy to like be social and like a social butterfly and like shine her light out in the world. She's very charismatic, vivacious, magnetic. The Queen of Pentacles has her shit together. She has her kingdom in order. She has it on fleek. She's organized. She is like, knows how to nurture herself and like self-care. And also because of that, she's like organized and like practical and can maintain everything else around her. So right now, it's just about cleaning up the inner conflicting like mental landscape that's preventing you from just being able to balance those two and be both of those aspects, right? It's just like a mental hurdle to overcome. And it's just about clearing up your intention, setting your focus, becoming aligned, crystal clear with your vision. Uncompromising in your determination, right? But maybe like agile in your approach, so to speak. All right, let's get one straightforward oracle card to kind of clarify some of this. Felt like this one is it. You're going in circles, right? So, Two of Swords, a stalemate, inner conflicting thoughts, feelings, overanalyzing, analysis paralysis. You're circling around the same lesson again and again and again. Hopefully this time it's the final death rally, right? So use this winter to get really clear, do the deep dive in your subconscious, in the emotional work, get really honest with yourself. What is that core lesson that life is trying to teach you before you can move forward? What is that core wound that's still blocking you? All right, what influence is crossing you now? What is going to be crossing us over this full moon? Ooh, Six of Wands, victory. Do your victory march. We shall overcome. Where'd you get that funk from? Song. Woo! Turn me loose. Love it. If y'all don't know Parliament, get to know Parliament. Okay, yeah. Victory over our opponent. Victory over what has held us back thus far. I hope y'all are ready for new beginnings, motherfuckers. Emotional renewal, bish. You feeling good? I hope so. You're about to feel real good because we are overcoming the things that we have obsessed with, we've been addicted to. Letting it go. Breaking chains. What is the subconscious influence that is affecting us at this moment? What is the subconscious pattern? What is the subconscious influence that we need to be aware of? What is the subconscious? The subconscious, the moon is affecting us, our feelings, Cancer, all the themes that we just talked about thus far. It's like underscore, underline, highlighted. Yeah, all the themes of Cancer, house and home, all those limiting beliefs from the past. That is what we're overcoming right now in order to take our seat on the throne of being the queen. In order to have long-term payoff, value coming back to us. We're building our legacy. We are now, starting now, not from the roots of the past that were spoiled and soiled. We are going forward with new seeds that are healthy. And we have dug out all of those subconscious influences, and we've re-examined what family and legacy mean to us. And now we are ready to create our own expression of that. Let's see what's... So bad advice, exactly. Getting rid of all the projections that everybody told you how it had to be. How you had to do it this way. Do it this way. You have to do what pleases the family, what pleases the generations that came before you. It was bad advice for you. Let it go. We're letting go of the bad advice that's coming from your subconscious that you're not aware of, that you're not even aware of, that's controlling your life. So it's about becoming aware of this thing now. It's like all of these epiphanies are coming forward. That's why it's so important that you just surrender when they're coming up and see where they take you, right? Okay, what is the lesson from the past that's still kind of influencing us, but that it's like the influence of it is like dissipating? The lesson from the past that's clearing up now. Ooh, hangman. Okay, a change of perspective, awakening. The spiritual awakening that we've been going through that has been the life's journey of the reason, like the catalyst, all of the trauma from youth, from this far, it's been the catalyst to awaken you. So we've been in this state of spiritual awakening, and to a certain degree, it feels like our ultimate life was just on pause. Like we've always been on a layover somewhere, right? But now the layover is coming to a close, right? This is the last season of this seeming pause in activity. Pieces are moving behind the scenes. So just get ready for like shit to start kicking off come spring. Enjoy your quiet solitude while it lasts, okay? All right, clarity. It's time to take action. Yes, get your shit together. It's time to start getting your ducks in a row and taking small, doable actions, methodical steps, one foot in front of the other, not too fast. Take your time. Okay, what's crowning us? What is crowning us? What has potential to come into formation right now? Okay, we're nervous. 9 of Swords. We're like worried about all the things that have like always plagued us in the past, these sleepless nights, all these things that we're just used to this crisis. We're addicted to crisis. It's just what we're used to. It's what we know, right? But we're overcoming that. 6 of Swords. We're moving on from this difficulty. A new dawn is ahead of us and the worst is behind us. Judgment, the spiritual awakening, the call to actually answer this epiphany, right? Are you going to have the revelation? Are you going to be raptured? Are you going to be resurrected and born again? Or are you going to, live in the past and walk around like a dead person? The King of Cups has come to terms with his emotions, has found all of these emotional balanced feelings. And so you might be feeling a sense of being emotionally reserved and not like showing yourself, like showing all your feelings to the world because of like the shell shock of all that you've come through. Or you might find that others are kind of like seem a little bit distant or stoic. But just know that it's because they too, collectively, we've all been coming through this huge awakening. And we're just still like, we're still in the escape boat, all right? We're just a little shook. So if somebody's like kind of sitting back and watching, it doesn't mean that they're not sincere or maybe even have hidden depths. It just means that they're not like, they've learned not to be so impulsive and they're taking their time and they're building. They're getting a lay of the land, and it's good because you need to slowly build trust with people. Okay, what do we need to know about that? Lesson learned. Okay, yes, we're learning the lessons from the past and moving on now. All of these things, all these lessons from the past that kept us in these cycles of misery and discomfort and chaos, we've learned. We're moving on from this, right? We have better judgment. We're healing our judgment. And so judgment, the chaos, the things that we've suffered, the cause and effect, judgment is dissipating. And now we've learned our lesson. We've learned not to be impulsive. We learned not to be completely controlled by our feelings. We've learned that we do have control over our feelings, that our feelings can teach us things and give us messages, but we don't need to get lost in the story because then we change our energy to affect consciousness, to victim consciousness. When we learn from our emotions and examine them and observe them and embrace them for that, then we're cause consciousness. So lesson is being learned, and now we're integrating. Okay, what is coming up around the corner? Oh, so exciting. Very exciting. I see good fortune. Okay. Sorry, I'm so offensive all the time. I just have a lot of people living inside of me, I feel like. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. So our perspective that is affecting us is that we have needed a lot of motivation, and we've been on a long, slow journey, but at least we have been dedicated and devoted, and we are plodding like one foot in front of the other. It's just that we're not going, our physical life is not going as fast as our inner desire and drive and expectation want it to. Things have developed slower for us. You may be older than you thought you would be, or you may not be as far along as you wanted to be by now at this age. Don't get like lost on those kind of hangups, right? It's all this unfolding journey. Had you had everything worked out from the beginning, you'd be bored and like shut down by now in like old person mode. Like it's really like constant change in life that keeps you young and virile with edge and like exciting and like relevant, you know? It's not getting like set in your ways. So don't worry that you haven't arrived. You just had like a really full experience, which is great. Ooh, oh my God. Outer influence coming in. The Lovers hurled its way out of the deck. We've got 3 of Wands, the Emperor, 8 of Wands. I'm going to throw that in the hopes and fears category. Let's see what we have for final outcome. It's like, ooh, okay, here are these 3. Oh my God. This is too much. Okay. Collaboration. Oh wait, hold on. It was like 8 of Swords, collaborating, healing, learning. Okay, so let's just take this a little bit of time. Okay, so our outer world, that's the outer influence that is affecting us right now through other people, through our world, is the Lover's card. It's a choice. Big life choice moment, right? We're at a fork in the road or a Y, right? And we can go either into the future as our new self, unencumbered by other people's expectations, really living like from our own like heart-centered self, or we can keep on making decisions based on what other people want us to do, or based on what other people would think, or based on wanting to fit in, or be a certain way, or live up to expectations of society. Whatever it is, there's going to be things in our life that are going to force us to make decisions. And it might even be in, the realm of relationship, or things that are like, this is decisions from the heart. So it's like major or like bigger things in your life, that have a bigger effect on you, like a serious relationship or a career opportunity or something like that. A big move, right? But something in your outer world, or maybe the various aspects of your outer world are asking you, it's big decision time in all of these areas, because you have to start living the embodiment of the up level. It's not going to happen for you. You just have to start being that new person. Just do it. And then, so in the hopes and fears position, so I don't know if I showed y'all, that was Lovers. In the hopes and fears position, we have 3 of Wands. This is a readiness to take our vision and expand it. We're like, okay, we've got our faculties about us. We know what we want to do. We kind of got our shit together, and now we're ready to like start moving forward. That's 3 of Wands. The Emperor is about like a well-established character who is in total control of their faculties, maybe even overly controlling. So that's like the dark side of the Emperor, but the Emperor has their shit together. They're committed. They're like the highest level of like the major arcana father figure, authority figure. Like you have authority over your life and you are ready to like take steps. It's like this is such the beginning of the journey. 3s are only the first level of completion. It's like, okay, we've got all our shit to base camp 1. Now we can start the climb. But you're like, okay, I'm in Emperor mode. I'm ready, and I'm ready to move forward and like really make some headway. So 8 of Wands is coming up. So it's going to be fast forward movement. Maybe a lot of good things going on at once. This is a good busy. Communication. If you've been waiting to hear from someone, or waiting to hear about an opportunity, or waiting to hear back about something, you could get that message and things could start moving forward from there. And then for the final outcome, we've got 8 of Swords. So, but then we also have 3 of Pentacles, the Star, and 8 of Pentacles. And so for these, I'm feeling that what's going on here is the message is saying that we've been feeling really stuck and like too afraid and like overwhelmed to make a move, or we couldn't see our way out of the situation and we felt frozen in fear and in analysis paralysis and we didn't see our way out. we know now, like we've been healing that whole thing, and it's like now we're ready to like start collaborating, start allowing others in. This is the Three of Pentacles. So this is the, okay, now we're at phase 1 of completion. We're at base camp 1. Now I want to start letting people in my life. Now I want to start taking this vision and making it real. But this is about being seen from the outer world and recognized for like your artistry, for your talent, for your skill. This is about people who want to work with you. This is about people who want to pair with you. This can mean like personally, like people who want to be friends with you or more. This could mean people who want to work with you. They want to represent you like an agent. This could be, I had that message come loud and clear from like the, I think it was maybe the manifestation reading. It was like after the fact, I was like, oh, I should have mentioned that people might be looking for agents, right? There might be an agent in your future. So yes, you're healing all of the fears that have been holding you back from going after, collaborating, and doing the things that you want to do. And maybe that means like going after the kind of relationships that you're ready for, or the kind of experiences that you're ready for. But either way, you're willing to like start taking action and coming at it from the eyes of a student and the apprentice. And like, you know that it's like slow and steady work, but it's like you're stacking these coins like one step at a time, one skill at a time, one day at a time, one text at a time, one everything, little by little by little. And it's a journey, it's a process, but this is telling me that there's a readiness to go into this direction and go into this new journey as the student, mastering yourself and then creating a life that you want to live, but you know that this is going to be a process that you're entering in, and it's not going to be like an overnight deal, right? Okay, let's pull one card about our perspective affecting us right now from the Straightforward Oracle. Creation phase 1. So our perspective right now is that, so creation phase 1 is about having a passive desire for something. It's about, like, remember the cardinal sign, Cancer, the fresh energy, good at starting, not so good at continuing on through the difficulty, right? Once the excitement is over. A passive desire comes from you have a taste of something, but it hasn't been like your idea. It hasn't been something that you've had like a hunger for yet. And so what you need to do in order to get off of this, like in order to get a little bit of a fire under your ass, you need to get past this passive desire and stoke your desire for more. Connect with what you want for yourself. What is the greater vision? What is the you that you need to be to become that? What needs to be done? You know, realistically at this pace, what are you going to, how far are you getting, right? So reevaluate that. Dig deep. This whole year is about really stoking that desire and maintaining it and having a relationship with it like a fire. So what the outer influence affecting you right now is phase 3, and you're in scarcity mode. So this is perfect. We're in the phase where we've been putting in all the work and we're not thinking that it's ever going to come to anything. And because we're slipping back into phase 1, it's like our energy is dwindling, and it's like, don't give up, don't give up. You're exactly where you need to be. This momentary belief in this scarcity is the moment where you truly believe that it's not going to work out, and you push through and you do it anyway, because this is phase 3. This is the effect. This is the influence on you right now, and it's going to be your choice to decide within yourself to move beyond scarcity mindedness and choose to give and share and put the effort in and continue to be the transformed you, and keep continuing to give no matter what. Surrender the outcome, right? Let the chips fall where they may. Oh, too exciting, people. Too exciting. We on fire. Okay. So what is our straightforward oracle message on our hopes and fears? Creation phase 4. We are facing our fears in what To Be Magnetic, Lacey Phillips calls the magic dark. This is the culmination of phase 3, when you are feeling like there is nothing coming. There's no reason to hope. There's no reason to have faith. You're just doing it anyway because you can't be stopped. Do you remember on, if you've seen Outlander, when Jamie Fraser gets his lashes on his back from the British Army, which, by the way, shout out to Outlander, my kilt. This is from Scotland. It's from when I went to Scotland. This is a Stuart tartan. But Jamie Fraser takes these lashes on his back and he refuses to cry out in pain or to beg for mercy. He just takes it in silence and in strength until he's laying there just like a dead rag. And the guy is like so tired, he can barely keep whipping him and he's sliding around in the blood and he's just like laying there just like taking the beating. And he's like, come hell or high water. I am surrendered, I am released, take me. I don't care. I'm like committed to this. Creation phase 4. The crystallization of the manifestation. 3 of Wands, ready to collaborate. Resources and faculties and wherewithal to do it. News, forward motion, fast change, forward momentum happening. Creation phase 4. The manifestation is coming. Okay. So let's get a clarifying card on our outcome. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. Let's see what these others says. Indecision is keeping you in a stalemate. Trust your gut. This is tied to shame. Shame is held in the gut. So in order to overcome your shame, you have to shine a freaking bright ass light on it, face it, and then heal and get rid of all of the influence of the shame and trust the intuition that is the quieter voice underneath it, telling you something loving, telling you something truthful, telling you something honest, telling you something that's going to build you, not destroy you. Trust your gut. Clean yourself of the shame. Cut the cords, rid yourself of it. Someone else projected that on you. It is not yours. It is not yours. God doesn't want you to have that shame. Jesus doesn't want you to have that shame. Your angels don't want you to have your shame. Give it up. Indecision is keeping you in the stalemate. So you have to decide within yourself to take responsibility. It doesn't matter that someone else planted that shame in you. You've got to dig through your own soil. Clean your ground. Prepare your ground. Do the groundwork because the fucking harvest will be there. Plant the seeds. There is some fertile ass soil right now. I'm like really excited. I'm really revved up, really motivated for this year. I feel very exciting things happening. Go watch the 2023 predictions workshop. Lots of great material there. A lot of great tidbits for the year in general about like life-changing advice to implement on a day-to-day, very practical advice. Also, I will be releasing month-by-month predictions, but like a lot of stuff, I've had to film a lot of things this week. So a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra is our moon phase card. So again, a lot of these messages, our daily messages, our manifestation messages, our romance messages, they've all been telling us, like, even though I try to focus my advice on loving the self and growing the self and not making it about like other people, I can't deny that we've had this subplot happening where the universe seems to be telling us that we're being prepared to meet someone or being prepared to start getting more involved with our love life or to take it to the next level in some way. And a lot of this offloading from this like parental healing, from the inner child healing and things, like it's setting us up so we can actually have a functional relationship. But we have to like participate in this and learn what that means and start reading like relationship books and doing the inner transformation work on ourselves, right? Okay, what is our angel wisdom card for this cycle? Just taking that top one. Oh, Page of Pentacles. Learning how to do it differently. We are taking it slow. We're treating ourselves like an enthusiastic little student. Just showing up to life school, learning our lessons. We're in our little life college now. We've left high school. We're freshmen again. Just trying to like find our way around campus, like find our way around the dorm. Just have fun. Just, it's all about learning. It's all a learning experience. Oh my gosh. I want to break free. That was one of the songs I used in my stories this week about breaking free of the lies of the opponent, about the breaking free of the self-delusion, being positively disillusioned so we can see the light and break free of all the false reality that we've held up for ourselves, the false senses of security, the illusions that we've lived in and basked in, and even though they weren't real, didn't have any substance, we're letting it all go. We're breaking free of it. We're breaking free of the expectations of our parents and grandparents and those that came before them. We're breaking free of societal expectations. We're breaking free of fears and addictions and habits and assumptions and unconscious patterns, insecurities, just generally things that have always been something that we've identified with that we don't anymore. Breaking free, liberating ourselves. We're making a wish. The more that we break these things, these layers of negativity for our soul correction, the more magnetic we become, the more we open ourselves to transmute that darkness into blessing in our life. So make a wish, right? Set your intention. What are you calling in? What do you want to create? Align with that. Use your free will to create your life and live as this person. This is our manifestation reading, by the way. Waves of prosperity, new abundance, and exciting opportunities are washing over you now. I am feeling that so vividly right now. I can't even tell you. So I got my big old coins on. You're being helped. Heaven is working behind the scenes to help you, even if you don't see the results yet. What did we talk about? What did we talk about? Seeming standstill in activity, but heaven is working behind the scenes. And there is going to be an acceleration of movement coming soon, and things are going to be coming into light, and it's all going to be making sense. But just have the certainty. What makes it so powerful for you, what puts you in a sense of cosmic flow and ease and harmony, is the certainty that allows you the release and the surrender and the security of knowing that source, heaven, is always in every single thing. And the more you are sure and certain of that, the less chaos that has to play out to challenge you to become certain of that. So the more you hang on to that certainty that like, oh, this situation is exactly how it's meant to be in this moment, it'll play out the way it needs to. God will come in and turn it around in my favor. Everything is happening for me. I'm looking for the messages in any given situation. I'm not going through life blind. I'm open. I'm participating. Trust that. And it creates ease and abundance and flow and harmony. It's opening you to receive heaven's help. Okay, Romance Oracle. Let's see. Oh, you deserve love. That's right. All of this, we're challenging our false notions in the subconscious that we don't deserve love. The core wound for me, when I trace back in the 2B magnetic work, and it's not like I'm going around thinking this at all, but when I really, really, really dug in and dug deep, the core wound was a feeling of inadequacy. Therefore, I don't deserve love. Therefore, I am not safe because I can't take care of myself. It was like it all stemmed from that I'm inadequate. So follow back your core wound that's preventing you from thinking you don't deserve love. Because you do. It's just a false illusion that you're being liberated from. And knowing and having a true and deep and real deservingness of love and a connection and an awareness of that is what attracts people who genuinely love you and treat you well. When you don't think you deserve love, that is what allows you to have the low boundaries that will allow in or be under the illusion of people who don't truly love you, who are just wanting to use you or, whatever they want to get from you. That's what they're there for. But sometimes it's not obvious. Sometimes they seem like they're genuine, but it's but your deservingness, they always give you a red flag. It's your deservingness that gives you the strength to walk away when you need to, or to set those boundaries, or to communicate, right? Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. You know what? I was going to bring this up the other day. Oh, which, by the way, reminds me. The other day, it was last night in our love reading, it talked about separation. And I was talking about separation being healthy. And I wanted to make sure that I was clear in this Mercury Lemonade that I didn't mean that you should just break up with people as a practice in your relationship, or that you should just go get a divorce because that's healthy, or separate from your spouse. I meant that if you're in a committed relationship, that like healthy time apart doing your own thing, like your own interests and whatever, is healthy. In the regards to people who were single, the separation meant that they hadn't met that person yet, that their souls were still separate, that they hadn't been joined. Okay, so that's caveats over. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more attractive. As you're deciding how you interact with people that you want to attract, bear in mind that someone is only going to be attracted to you if they respect you. And once they lose respect for you, they can't unsee that, and they are no longer attracted to you. And it is very hard to earn someone else's respect back in that regard and get their attraction back once you lose it. I mean, it's not impossible. I guess you can, but you have to love yourself first. And it can't be an act like, I'm gonna leave if you don't do this, or whatever. It's like, it has to be real. You have to be willing to be like, I'm sorry, it's not gonna work out. Like, I've gotta go in my own direction now and be true to myself. And that has to be real. It can't be like brattiness, throwing a fit, drama queen, dysfunctionalism that's just a cycle in a toxic relationship, right? You have to be willing to say no to the people who aren't good for you and don't line up with your values and what you want for yourself, even if that means walking away from someone who's perfect for you in every way on paper. But if they're not willing to give you love and cherish you and show up in an equal reciprocation, then you have to be strong enough to walk away. You have to be strong enough to say, hey, I matter. What I want matters too. You know, have backbone, have chutzpah. But start out respecting yourself and having the strong enough boundaries with your own self and with others to maintain that self-respect so that others also have respect for you. It starts with you. It starts with your own self-respect, right? And then it starts with you being respectful to others, and then being in that true vibration of respect. It compels respect. Okay, what else do we need to know for the next couple of weeks in the waning cycle to make the most of this waning cycle in our love lives? It's all about self-work. Oh, what worth waiting for? Trust. Give your relationship a chance. Okay. That was my work alarm that went off, so I gotta hurry, but I think I can finish up. So it's all about self-love, learning that you deserve love, focusing on that, focusing on loving yourself first, and doing all the things that harness self-respect in yourself. Sticking to your guns, keeping up with promises, holding your boundaries, and following the limitations that you set for your own self. Give your relationship a chance by waiting for what's really right for you. Something is coming so wonderful that all of these tests have just been a taste of the possibilities. So what you want is worth waiting for. You have to trust that what you want is out there, and give it a chance by giving it the space to show up without filling that void with something that is just a quick fix or a warm body, or because you were hungry and desperate and you grabbed, right? Something that's not yours will only ever bring you chaos, whether it's money or a relationship. Like if you're fighting to earn more than what you're meant to earn in that moment, the money is just gonna be chaotic. This is what my teacher David was talking about, and go follow him on Instagram, David Guillaume. So patience is key right now, and trust are our words from Mother Mary. So David Guillaume, last name is Ghaym. He's a teacher at the Kabbalah Center. He shares a lot of great information on his Instagram, but also these are good tidbits that you can apply to your life, but also through him you can figure out how to go become a member and take classes and stuff at the Kabbalah Center. So trust and have patience that what you really truly want is happening and it's on the way, but you've got to keep showing up for yourself. You've got to keep your standards, you've got to keep your boundaries, and you have to keep promises to yourself. And part of that is going to be staying really connected with your big why, your big purpose, staying connected with that purpose, what you're doing and what it's all for and why, keeping that passion stoked. Pay attention to your attitude. Keep a good attitude. Make sure that your emotions are good, that you're feeling good, that you're fostering an environment that is in alignment with your core desired feelings and your values, right? And so if you need to tweak things within yourself and within your outer environment, don't be afraid to make change, right? It's all about transformation, but this year we're implementing on all the structures that we put in place, right? So get shit right, keep it tight. Aight? Ciao.